Good afternoon, children. Now we'll start revision of the chapters you have already noted in your classwork notebooks. So first chapter is the reproduction in organisms. Reproduction in organisms. Now all the organisms, they live for a certain period of life, and that period of life is called the lifespan. So it is defined, a lifespan is defined as the period from birth to the natural death of an organism represents this lifespan. So each organism takes birth and it dies, and the duration of the period is called the lifespan. The lifespan of the various organisms is different. Say we have the elephant, which lives for the 45 years. Dog lives for the 20 to 30 years. Butterfly 1 to 2 weeks. Crow for the 10 years. And likewise the other animals also have their own lifespans. There is animals like lion it lives for the 30 years. Sequoias are the gymnosperm plants or redwood tree. It lives for the 3000 to 4000 years. That's the longest lifespan. The amoeba, we say amoeba is immortal. It is because the one amoeba will divide into two, and each amoeba acts as a new individual. So the part of the amoeba is not lost. The part of the amoeba becomes a new individual. Hence, it never dies. We can say it is immortal. Now reproduction is a process by which an organism produces its own kind. So it has to produce its own kind, and if a particular organism will not produce its own kind, it will vanish, it will disappear from the earth. So reproduction helps the continue to the life of a species. So if a particular species produces its own kind, then only this species can remain for the years on the earth. The type of the asexual reproductions are asexual. The type of the reproductions are the asexual and sexual reproduction. Now, asexual reproduction is the development of individual without the fusion of the male and female gamete. Here, no gametes are formed. Since no gametes are formed, so there is no fusion, no chances of fusion, and that's why we say it is a type of asexual reproduction. Now, different aspects of the asexual reproduction is the first, it involves only one organism. So only one organism able to produce its own kind, so other organism is not needed. If we discuss the sexual reproduction, there is a necessity of the presence of the two organisms, but in the case of the asexual reproduction, it involves only one organism. It produces identical copies of the individuals, that is clones. It is called clones, identical copies, because in the case of the asexual reproduction, the organism divides by mitotic cell division, and in 11th standard we have already studied when a cell divides mitotically, it produces the similar cells, that the daughter cells are similar to the mother cell, so they are called the clones. Another is it is common among the protists and monorems, that is, they are single cell organisms like amoeba, paramecium, etc. Now, types of the asexual reproduction. The fission is the binary fission in case of the amoeba and paramecium. Binary means two, that is, one amoeba divides into two, one paramecium divides into two paramecium. Hence, it is called the binary fission. Multiple fission in the case of the algae, the nucleus in the multiple fission, the nucleus redivides mitotically into a number of cells, and similar cells are present and they are enclosed in a structure called sporangium. So that is called the multiple fission. The budding in Hydra and yeast and tunicates, the budding. Spore formation. The spore formation may be motile or non-motile. Motiles or non-motiles. Motiles and non-motiles. Spores may be motile or non-motile. The motile spores are called zoospores. So they are microscopic. They are bi means two. They are four or many flagella. So many flagella are present in the zoospores, and it are produced in the algae and fungi. The conidia are non-motile spores. They are produced in the penicillium. Sporangiophore in the case of the rhizobium. The gemule formation. Gemule is a structure of undifferentiated cells, which contains a stored food materials, and in which the cells are present. These all cells are enclosed in a double membrane protective chitinous covering strengthened by the monoaxon spicules. Now, regeneration. The regeneration is the process by which an organism produces its lost part. For example, if an hydra is cut into two, the hydra will divide into two new hydrae. Regeneration you can see in the case of the lizard also, that is, if lizard can regenerate its lost tail, but in the case of the lizard, that regeneration of the tail is not a type of reproduction, that is, by this the two lizards cannot reproduce. So regeneration is the method of reproduction in the case of the hydra. Now, vegetative propagation. Here, natural vegetative propagation, by some of the cells they regenerate, they produce a new organism. For example, roots by stem, by leaves, artificial by cuttings, layering, grafting. Micropropagation, we have studied this micropropagation in class 11th, in which a tissue of the explant is placed in a nutrient medium in a flask which develops into a callus, undifferentiated mass of the cells. The callus is treated with hormones, phytohormones like cytokine and auxin, which cause the differentiation of callus in the roots and shoot system. For example, in orchid, gladiolus, chrysanthemum, dahlia, etc. So here you will find the algae. The zoospores are produced, where the in these zoospores two flagella are present. In the case of the penicillium, the conidia are produced. In a hydra, the bud is produced, while in the case of the gemule, these cells are present. These are protected by chitinous structure. These spicules are present, There is an opening called operculum, and this whole structure protect the cells under unfavorable conditions. As soon as the favorable conditions will appear, the operculum opens and all the cells come out and germinate to produce the new organism. Here the other vegetative structures, like in the eyes in the potato, adventitious roots in the ginger, bulbil in agave, the adventitious buds in the case of brachyphyllum, and the offsets in the case of the icon or water hyacinth. The advantages of vegetative propagation. Characteristics of the parent plants are preserved. It is because of the vegetative propagation involves the mitotic cell division. It's a quicker method. It is easier and cheaper method. It is less expensive. It's a good method for the plants which have poor seed viability, and that is the assignment you received. So that is all for today.